silos and grain bins. You see them all out in the country, but what do they actually do? Well, today, I'm going to find out.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gage with our Ohio, and I had some questions about those big silver grain containers.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go take a look.
So these aren't actually silos, they're grain bins.
They're grain bins. They're for holding grain for long periods of time for sale, not for feeding cattle or anything. And so we keep our corn and our soybeans stored here until we're ready to haul them out in the winter.
Peggy, a lot of people don't know the difference between a silo and a grain bin. Can you tell us the difference?
These steel structures happen to be bins, grain bins. They're for long time holding of our crop after we harvest it. We dry it, and then we put it in the grain bins to hold for delivery later in the winter months, January, February, and March. So these are grain bins. The tall blue structures that you sometimes see are the silos. They have a glass lining, and they are used for feed for cattle. So that's the difference between a silo and a grain bin.
Do silos or grain bins usually get filled all the way to the top?
Grain bins, you usually try to keep them as full as possible. You know, it's kind of silly to put a dab here and a dab there and a dab here. So we usually fill one up and then go to the next.
So Peggy, what happens when a truck comes in here to unload?
During harvest, we have 4 trucks that come in and shuttle the corn out of the field, or the soybeans, into this complex. We have 2 large pit dumps that the truck comes across and straddles, and it's a hopper bottom trailer, so we just dump the truck right into the pits, and we can literally unload it within 5 minutes. And then the truck can pull out, go back to the field to get some more.
How long can you store the grain?
We normally keep them no more than 6 months. We're usually totally empty and cleaned out by August. And so, so it all, you know, you have to figure all that out when you want to know how long you want to hold it. Not only that, but it also depends upon the quality of the grain as you put it in. If it was good quality and didn't have a lot of fines and stuff in it, it'll hold longer than other grains. So you just have to keep a real close eye on it.
You know, I've driven around and seen thousands of silos and grain bins, and I didn't know what they were for, so thank you for explaining this to me.
We're really glad to enlighten you as to what we're doing here with these apparatuses that we've got constructed in our farmyards. So thank you for visiting.
Now that I know about silos, I'd like to sleep in one. It would have taken most people 2 hours to drive to Akron, but when you stop to ask questions about silos, sows, and soybeans, it takes a little longer. Well, actually, it takes a lot longer, like 2 weeks. But finally, I arrived. We're at the Crowne Plaza Quaker Square Hotel in Akron. Let's check it out. Roy Bain started working at Quaker Square in 1976. Roy, give me a local history lesson. How did Quaker Oats get started in Akron?
Well, originally a gentleman named Ferdinand Schumacher brought his family over here from Germany, and he had been in the business over there of producing oats to feed horses. When he got to Akron, and before he left Germany, he found out that the general public can consume it, and it was healthy, it was good for you, even way back when. And he brought it to the Akron area, so he thought that was a good opportunity for him to open up a business. It flourished, and so he just kept on expanding with that. In 1971, they decided to move the corporate headquarters to Chicago. So it sat dormant till about 1975.
Roy, explain to us how the silos were transformed into a hotel complex.
In 1975, prior to that, a few years prior to that, a group of investors got together and they were trying to think what they could do with the silos. And then they were going to take the silos eventually and turn that into either an apartment complex, condominiums, or hotel. When they started the project in 1980, they completed it in 6.5, 7 months. We had people staying in the hotel, but they worked around the clock 24/7. And it was sort of neat being down here and watching it, you know, come together and piece together.
What's the attraction? Why do people want to stay here?
And it's sort of a unique experience for young people or old people. As far as the hotel, I think just the fact that you can sleep in a grain silo. When you go to sleep at night, there used to be 50,000 bushels of oats over your head. So it's a rather unique experience.
You know, sleeping in a silo is going to be much more comfortable than I imagined. Hey, we'll see you down the road.